All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm really sorry about the delay. It's just a cascading effect of a technical glitch that we had here after lunchtime, and a lot of enthusiasm with the IXP personals as well. But we know it's all good stuff here, so thank you for putting up with the delays. I'd like to introduce the session chair for this third peering forum session, Katsuyasu Toyama. It's all yours, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Philip. So let's start the last session of the peering forum of the APRICOT. So today we would like to have a panel discussion for a recent COVID situation. And we have had a very bad time for this year. So let's review that and discuss for the future. Okay, so I would like to share my slide. Okay, so everyone can see and hear my voices? Okay. Yeah, thank you. So, I would like to start this title of the panel discussion, APAC Traffic Trend in 2020 from IXP and CDN perspectives. Okay, so the first, COVID-19 and terrible year, and that impact not only internet traffic in APAC, but also our internet community. As you could see, we cannot meet in person. So last year's events almost postponed and held in virtual. Yeah, so I hope to recover again. Yeah. So impacts on the lives in tech. So our technology people we have to more working from home, and we could not go out. So we had much difficulties and physical maintenance work, or traffic itself is increased, and traffic control or capacity building must be needed. Yeah, so a lot of an impact on our lives. Yeah, so today we would like to have a panel discussion, and I think it's a good timing to review 2020 because you know that recently the vaccine slowly comes to arrive, and yeah, also take a long time, but it's a glimpse of a new normal future. So, I think it's a good timing, and we are focusing on the APAC region and look at what happened on the internet in APAC 2020, and from each country or economy point of view, and also have the APAC, and also the bird eye view in APAC from the content side. And after that, we would like to discuss our findings just a moment. So I felt, I disconnected. I'm so sorry about it.
But you're back.
Oh yeah, now back. Okay, so so what I say, but as you could see, we like to look at what happened in APAC this year, and we would like to discuss our findings and learnings. Okay, so first, we would like to introduce the panelists. So, Raja Mohan Morapan from MIIX, and I would like to ask him to speak about their one of the country in APAC and their view, and from IXP and their eyeballs. And the next, Vijay from Equinix, he would like to he will talk about the view from a hub of the APAC. He lives in Singapore and operate in Equinix Singapore internet exchanges. So from that perspective, he will talk about that. And also the Kamsion from Akamai. He is operating CDN, the famous CDN Akamai. So he can see the APAC region or rural region from the CDN. Okay, so each person will talk about the recent trend under the COVID-19, and then we will discuss what we learned and what we do for the future. Okay, so first section, I would like to ask those panelists to talk about what could be seen during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the first Mohan, the next Vijay, and the next comes on that order. So first, Mohan, please.
Can I share the screen?
Yeah. You can share the screen. Just a moment.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. Let's before I run through the numbers in the traffic numbers in the internet exchange point. Let me run through and also refresh some of the happenings during the COVID-19, but not only for Malaysia. I think it's throughout the world. So in Malaysia, January 24, the first coronavirus was detected, and our first lockdown was March 18. And since then, we have seen many lockdown, many phases of lockdown. So when there were lockdown, basically, practically everything is come to stay, where police and army deployed. There were a lot of roadblocks, and only essential services are allowed to operate, like for instance, hospital, bank, telecommunication, and supermarket. And I think we are also lucky to operate. We are also lucky to operate that, meaning that we are also recognized as essential services by the government. I will come to you later. And besides that, all the office, school, and public transport entities and just also closed. All are expected to, all are working from home except those are required to travel. And we come to the second remedial MCO, then business and life resuming with the social distancing and other SNMP. So these are the phases, the MCO phases that we have gone through. We are in the phase 8, where we're still under the, we call a restricted movement control order, RMCO. And we expect the government to announce a new MCO sometime next week. And number of cases in Malaysia is already touched 300,000. And these are the numbers that can be covered. We just started our phase 1 vaccination last week for the frontliners. So I'm not going to run through this all these numbers. Okay, let's look at from the traffic perspective on the internet exchange point of view. So I'm just want to clarify myself. This is only talking about internet exchange traffic. I'm not talking about my extra Malaysian traffic. So overall, our peak traffic actually grew from 20% to 30% from May to June 2020. And highest peak was recorded in 614 gigabytes per second. And highest peak was in 2019 December was 500 gig per second. So what I see is basically I see the traffic constantly high from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. In fact, even morning up to early morning also the traffic is quite high. And based on the our network profile, I noticed that some of the network traffic increased, while some of them also decreased. So these are the three network profile that I will run through. This is traffic during the March to June. So if you look at the number one, the first top one is basically is a fixed line and also I'm not going to name the operator, one of the largest networks in Malaysia. So the moment when the government imposed the MCO, then all start to work from home and so far. And that caused the traffic increase tremendously from 20% to 100% traffic. And in fact, they are required to upgrade their ports now and then. So if you look at the second network profile, it's also a Celco operator. Their traffic also increased 25 to 35, but different Celco operator have different profiles. So this is one of the profile that I have also another profile that I didn't show in this diagram. That operator's traffic profile actually is increased every month is continuously until now is keep on increasing. So that is very, very, I would say it's a very positive side on the internet exchange point, because we can exchange a lot of traffic within the exchange. And the last one is basically is a small, medium ISPs, but their customers are primarily the enterprise customers, small, medium enterprise, and also banks and hotels, restaurants. So that's why when you see when the first MCO was announced, the traffic went down almost 100%. So subsequently, when the control MCO was announced, then the traffic back to, the traffic back to normalize. So overall in Malaysia Internet Exchange, this is a traffic pattern from February 2020 until 23rd February 2021. So it's almost a year pattern. So the peak is actually increased almost 70%. And I think there are many more reasons. One of the reasons is obviously the work from home, online, and also study from home, online shopping, and some of the eyeballs also add more ports. And we are fortunately, we have 12 networks joined last year during this pandemic, and we 4 of them also from international. And we see also more CDN traffic. So on average, Malaysian consume about 16 gig per month in financial year 2020. This is data consumption increased by almost 30%. This is what actually was reported in Star last week. So that is my end of this traffic trends from Internet Exchange point.
Yeah, thank you, Mohan. So I have a quick question. So how about in peak traffic in the nighttime and about the daytime? So that is different. So the daytime increasing. So in the Japanese case, the data traffic increasing much in the early 2020.
Our peak actually, the right peak is from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. midnight. That is our peak. Actual, I mean the peak that the traffic is growing very much. There's a huge peak during that period.
Oh yeah, so in the daytime also the traffic is increasing. Like
yes, also increased, but the night time is really, I mean the traffic margin is a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let's go on to next speaker, the next panelist, the Vijay, please.
Thanks, Toyama-san. Mohan, can I actually share the screen, please?
Yes. Sorry. Okay. Can Vijay?
Yeah. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Presenter mode, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm Vijay. I'm actually working for Equinix Asia Pacific, based out of Singapore, and I'm actually managing the global network planning and implementation team. So we all actually know the major events relates to the COVID-19 situation globally, and the previous panelist Mohan actually presented well in detail about all the events that had happened, at least around the Southeast Asia region, and particularly on Malaysia side. These are some of the high-level events, COVID-19 related events in Singapore, where the early local cluster was actually detected in between February and March timeframe. As the more and more cases were detected at the community level, the lockdown was actually announced, or rather in Singapore it is called as circuit breaker. It was announced on the 7th of April and it lasted until 1st of June. So as a result of the lockdown announced in April, majority of the workforce were have to actually be working from home, and schools were closed. All schools have to do the study from home kind of arrangements and whatnot. So as part of the outbreak, the internet data has actually surged, and a daily news article was actually mentioning that around 30 to 40% of internet data traffic was surged at that point in time between March and April timeframe. So when I actually looked at it for in terms of the Equinix Internet Exchange perspective, we did see the surge from mid February all the way up to April timeframe, and even further to that, until the end of the year, we saw the continuous growth in traffic. So overall, when we saw the traffic from January to June timeframe, it was 40% growth in traffic, which if I were to compare it against the same period last year, which is 2019, it was at least 50% more traffic than the previous year. The overall for the past 12 months between January to December 2020, it was around 70 to 72% increase in traffic on the Internet Exchange platform. These are all definitely in effect of the COVID-19 situation, and the people were started working from home. A lot of contents were actually accessed, streaming services, and working from home required the communication apps to be used and whatnot. All contributed to the traffic trend to go up drastically. And I would say, compared to 2019, this particular traffic increase is around 70 to 72% more as compared to 2019 12 months period. That's my facts as part of the surge in traffic during the COVID-19 situation. And as part of further analysis, the largest players on Internet Exchange platform in Singapore are mostly on PNI. In fact, this is true on Equinix Internet Exchange platform. And majority of the traffic between are usually between the regional and global peers rather than local. So the trend visible to us did not really reflect the exact impact of the outbreak locally. But however, based on the further analysis, traffic analysis, we could see significant increase in traffic during the pandemic on e-commerce and content delivery, entertainment fields like video and gaming and communication verticals, which in fact outpaced the other NSPs altogether in the entire platform. And overall, the past 12 months, the traffic between regional tier 1 telcos and the top verticals listed up there increased by 30 to 40%, which really reflects Equinix as the main hub that actually delivers the content from Singapore to other Southeast Asia countries and West Asia. So I think how actually we could cope up with this particular surge in traffic, or even this actually in fact very much applicable to all the service providers in Singapore, because there are continuous upgrades, and every home were issued with or built with the fiber optic platforms and fiber optic connections and whatnot. So at least 1 gig of internet connection was issued or provided to the home users. So though the traffic utilization between the users were increasing, the infrastructure could still sustain the traffic growth or traffic surge during that pandemic period. So likewise in Internet Exchange platform in Singapore and around the region, we had actually upgraded the entire platform to be able to support multiple 100 gig infra links in 2019 itself. So we were fully equipped to handle the surge in the and be able to handle the customer demand if we had to see immediate surge in number of circuits to be provisioned. So in comparison, we actually saw 44% more ports turned up compared to the same period 2019, which is between February and June timeframe. So other challenge that we had encountered was in March 20, equipment vendors announced additional lead time on some of the commonly procured items. So we had to quickly review the capacity forecast and make sure that we bring forward the procurements, some of the procurements forward so that we could keep the inventory and make sure we could turn around and provide the ports for the customers immediately. So since we saw the upward trend in traffic, we proactively upgraded the backbone infrastructure also to make sure that the surge in traffic can be handled. Between March and April timeframe, as I was mentioning, 30–40% increase in traffic. We saw the infrastructure links were going at 60–70% utilization. So we had to immediately increase the infrastructure link capacity by adding multiple 100 gig links on the infrastructure side. That said, we didn't really stop further in the development side of Internet Exchange platform. We did introduce the RPKI solutioning in the Internet Exchange platform by end of September. I think that's all from my side, Taimasan, in terms of how we saw the trend and how we coped up to handle the situation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vijay. So please take a look back the few slides and then show the graphs, please.
Yep.
Oh, so you mentioned that this trend is basically shows not in the Singapore itself, the eyeball or the people subscribers traffic, but in I think that is in between the national providers or the Asian ISPs and content. So that is in the trend of all the ages.
Yeah, this is one of the incumbent providers graph, and particularly, well, this is definitely Equinix's graph. But we have to actually just close down the number of gig and number of terabit that went through between the Singapore Internet Exchange platform. But the surge in traffic was quite huge during just after the lockdown was announced. And that particular trend in upward trend in traffic sustained for the entire year. And past 2 months also, we saw quite a lot of jump in traffic, which was which compared to 2019 itself, it is quite a lot of increase in traffic.
Yeah. So that point is also I'm interested in. Okay, but then later I would like to ask that. Okay, so next comes. Are you ready? Comes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. So please share your slide again.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. So thanks to Taimasan for inviting me to talk about the OTT traffic trend in 2020 from a CDN's perspective. So I'm one of the network architect in Akamai. My name is Kam Siang. So first of all, I just want to have a disclaimer. So the information I shared on here is only for the peering forum, for the participant here. So it's not supposed to share with other third parties. If you have any questions or you have more information about the figures that I share, feel free to contact me directly. Okay, so I'm going to share from a the traffic trend that we observe from Akamai. Global Akamai is one of the major CDN. So the traffic that I share probably not representing other CDN, but at least you can have a view on how it looks like from a Akamai perspective. So I start from my global view. So this is the historical traffic that we have in the last few years from 2018 to up to now. So you can see that the traffic have been keep going, like from the 2018 that we are peak at like 70, and in 2019 we are peak at like 120. But since pandemic, like in 2020, we have a record peak of 180 terabit per second for the global traffic. So, and of course, you can see that there's the increase is actually more. It's a sudden jump in after COVID-19. And if we just compare like the COVID-19, because it happened like in February and March timeframe. So the traffic surge is actually mainly happening in March 2020, when the pandemic started and all the countries are start lockdown, and then everyone starting to work from home, etc. So we see a like a double traffic if you compare like the March traffic from 2019 to 2020, because this is where the traffic got doubled year by year. And if you compare like per month basis, we still have a growth of 30% compared to February 2020. I post the a link here that if you want to see the traffic more detailed, then you can see from one of our blogs on that. And if I just focus on 2020, this is the Akamai global traffic, but I just zoom in and only focusing on the period from in 2020. So you can see that just highlighting from before March and after March, you can see that there is a huge jump here from March, because this is where when people start to like work from home, and then all the traffic, all the business shift to online. And then since March onward, the traffic, we still have growth, but then the growth is more steady, because I think from there, everyone start to adapt to work from home, and then they start to like doing everything online, like shopping or e-commerce or entertainment. So then of course, we still see a few spike. This is more like the event traffic that we have. But in overall, still after March, we still have a growth on that, but just not as much as February. And then if we zoom in into APAC, I split them into two periods. One is the first half of the 2020, and the other slide it will be the second half of 2020. So for the first half, that you can also see that in the APAC, we have the same trend that the traffic growth a lot from February to March. It's not very obvious here, but you can see that because this is a 6-month graph. So from here, this is the February graph, and then from here is the March graph. So you can see that from March compared to February or January, so there's also a growth in about like 30% on that. And then on the second half of 2020, if I just looking at the APAC, is we still have a growth, but not that obvious. You could see, so this is still a growth, but not that much. And this is what we observe. Of course, for the traffic in 2020, of course, first foremost is the COVID-19 pandemic. So a lot of things are changed to online, like work from home, e-learning, online gaming, online entertainment, OTT, remote communication, etc. So these are all driving the traffic online. But at the same time, there's other factor that we see in traffic growth in 2020. So of course, we do see keep going. There's a lot of fiber to the home broadband penetration, high-speed broadband, 5G. So there are a few countries that launched 5G last year. That's causing also more traffic increase in terms of like mobile internet. We see more traffic increase in internet population, especially those in developing countries like let's say Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia. So they still have a lot of traffic growth. This is like no matter it's pandemic or not, because they have a huge population. So the internet population growth is a lot in those countries. And There's also other type of internet, getting more device on the internet as well. The next is, of course, the going of the internet content. So there are more social media, more VOD, streaming, event, game download, e-commerce, etc. So these are also more like a kind of a generic trend. But we observed in 2020, there are also more VOD launching last year, of course, and this year too. And the next trend that we observe is the content size is keep increasing, like OS or software, game download, and the video are changing to high def. So all these are also the generic growth that we observe in terms of the traffic increase. Next is something that we observe, not really like impacting the traffic increase, but it's some impact that we observe from an OTT perspective, because some of these are actually more hitting the OTT side on the content delivery. So I don't go into the details because I don't want to go into the politics, but just to have a high level view that we have in Korea, you will see that there's OTT law that like governing how the OTT content will be delivering traffic to Korea. In Taiwan, there's also regulation about how the Chinese OTT content to deliver. And in India, there are some changes in law again on the Chinese application on how they deliver in India users. And last is Hong Kong that because last year we have the national security law. So there could be some content that they have different, they're subject to some regulation that they may change how they deliver the content. I'm not saying they will be increased or decreased, but they may change how we deliver the content, because they may rely on a CDN to deliver the traffic. So these are the impact that we observe in 2020. So this is the traffic trend that I want to share from an e-commerce perspective. Okay, do you understand?
Yep. Thank you very much, Kams. So as you show these graphs, so early 2020, rapidly increasing the traffic, but after that, increasing, but stably increasing. So that is the observation. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So I think that all the three panelists showed that reckon that pattern. So in an early stage, like just 1 year ago, the people were feared what kind of viruses and what kind of impact of our lives. Yeah. So people were relatively staying home in the earlier this 2020. But then later, gradually people knows that we should care, but then we can some doing the work. So from that point of view, so the traffic increasing in the early stage, but then later not so increasing like the year before. So that is, and I think the Asian trend, and I'm not sure the other regions. But then this is also the same. And also in Japan, we could see that in early stage, the traffic is increasing, but then later increasing gradually. Yeah, they're almost the same. And one question about the traffic. So everyone, yeah. So daily traffic, daily peak and night peak. Still, I observed in Japan, the night peak is higher than the daily. Only once or twice has been the daily traffic is higher than the night. So that help the ISPs or others to not so rapidly increasing their capacities. Because in the JPNAP, we do not many customers increase the capacity urgently. So my observation is the same. So BJ, can you say something about this daily traffic and day traffic and the night traffic peak, and also the capacity increase?
So before taking on that particular question, Toyama-san, there is one question by Anurag in the Q&A session. So he has asked, wondering if you can share how significant and insignificant the traffic between eyeball to eyeball players, and what are the applications that are using point-to-point bandwidth these days. To be frank, or to be honest, Anurag, in the internet exchange platform in Equinix, there are only a handful of eyeball peering participants. Majority of them are actually on the content and the e-commerce solutioning and cloud service providers and so on. So we don't really see that particular level of granularity in terms of what kind of point-to-point traffic is being exchanged between the eyeballs. But definitely the traffic is actually going from the major tier one providers in the region outside of Singapore, and then going into the content providers, cloud providers, e-commerce providers, gaming, entertainment, all kind of peering participants in Singapore. So that gives us a clear view as to which direction the traffic is being sent out and consumed by the eyeballs. And to the next question by Taimo-san, in terms of the traffic during daytime and nighttime, we did definitely see the communication vertical providers. It had quite a significant amount of traffic during the office hours in Singapore. At least I saw it for the 2 or 3 different communication providers, seeing quite a number of, at least they had actually filled 20% of their port capacity that they subscribed on. So which gave a clear indication that people are actually working from home and using these remote applications to dial in and collaborate with the employees.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So, how about another question? So, Mohan, can you see something?
Yeah. Generally, the traffic also very high during the biggest night time, where the basically the operators, the big flying operators, and also the mobile operators, they have to re-engineering the traffic either by doing a lot of PNI within the members itself, or upgrade their port. And I noticed that some of them also upgrade their port on a monthly basis, and some of them. I think they have upgraded on a slower basis because I believe they have some other arrangement with the other operators where probably they have PNI so that they can monetize the PNI and others agreement beside the IXP.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So how about you, Comes? So CDN point of view. So daytime,
Yeah,
nighttime. Yeah.
We don't see a like a very obvious difference between like daytime and nighttime traffic. But in general, because we do carry a lot of OTT content like the VOD, and then those are mostly consumed at nighttime when people are off hour, when they are like watching VOD at home. So those are like the usual like time that we have. And in the daytime, usually because people go to work and then they use Zoom, or that it's not on our platform, but we do see there sometimes there could be event bursts, like when there's a new software download or like a game download, and we do see event peak. That is like something that sometimes could be daytime, sometimes could be nighttime, because this is really depend on the software owner or the game publisher. How do they want to deliver the content? So we do see like spike traffic at different times of the day, but in general, nighttime we have more traffic.
Okay, thank you. And we have one question from Mike of the Sunvision. So other than bandwidth upgrade, is there any observation in consolidate needs by IX participants? Example, maybe a multiple or 10 gig into 100 gig in 2020. So Mohan, and next BJ.
Fortunately, we upgrade our infrastructure in September 2019. We moved from Bokeh to KFX 18K, which are high port density. So we are quite okay during the pandemic. In fact, we have still ample of capacity to add more ports, whether it's 1 gig or 10 gig or 100 gig. So we are quite, I would say we are quite, I think, better in terms of preparedness towards the pandemic.
Thank you. So how about BJ?
Yeah, definitely the infra side and also on the peering participant side, there was evidently seen that the consolidation happened at the time of peak of pandemic. There were few instances where multiple 10 gigs, even with 4 times 10 gig customers, moved into a couple of 100 gig ports. And on the infra, obviously, as the IXP operators, we have to make sure that the infra capacity is less than 50% utilized at all point in time. So that said, we had to ramp up the additional infra connections between various different sites within a metro to make sure that we don't choke the traffic at the peak utilization period.
Thank you very much. So yeah, for me, it's also there is some consolidated, but no urgent. Oh, maybe tomorrow we need 2 more 10 gig or 100 gig, such kind of things are not so happened in Japan. Oh, that is because in the daytime peak it's not so over the nighttime. So that is means that the eyeballs, or basically the traffic increase, but it is what they expected. Not more than expected. So, of course, they're increasing the capacity is early than planned, usual after the COVID. So, or maybe that they have to increase the plan is in September, but it should be July. Yeah, such kind of an early deployment has been done. But basically, not tomorrow increase in the 10 gig, yeah, 100 gig. No such a phenomenon has been happened. Okay, so that is also our observation. So next, we would like to talk about our findings and learnings and preparing for the futures. So first, Mohan, please say something about this. Yeah, shortly.
Obviously, during the pandemic, ISP play a bigger role in the respective countries. And obviously, networks can maximize their presence by exchanging more traffic, either by having a direct peering, also by route server, because ISP charges is fixed. I believe this is safe for throughout the IX in South Asia. And for the smaller and medium players networks, ISP is more like a strategic partner because they don't have much connection to ISP. So most of them are relying on people like ISPs, especially in MyX. So when it comes to the impact of operations, as I mentioned, we already upgrade our infra in September. So we don't have infra-wise, there's no issue for us to support our clients, our members' requirements. Fortunately, we also in Malaysia, MyX is recognized as one of the critical infrastructure, just like a telecommunication by the government. So we are allowed to operate. We allow our vendors to go during the period to upgrade or any maintenance work. So we are quite also lucky. And other than that, basically, we don't have a much issue. It's just that we work from home. Our monthly meetings are from Zoom. And we also had same time, we also had some, we had to commission a new satellite node, but we have to postpone it until May. And but during the COVID-19 pandemic last year, we have also managed to put through the RPK implementation our network. Now we are ready for this RPK implementation, and so far all our members are actually complying to this the the requirements. And now we are not dropping any prefixes for the time being. And besides that, we have postponed our annual general meeting, and we also didn't have our training program, which is we collaborate with Equinix. So that from the ISP perspective, they upgrade their capacity to serve the public during the lockdown. And we at the committee level, we actually waived the upgraded ports fee for 3 months, in fact, 3 months, just to support the ISP's additional cost during this pandemic. So as far as from the country perspective, the government actually requested all the operators to provide additional 1G data offer. The offer is still valid because the school is still closed. We just started the schooling sometime this week. And then as far as the telco and the mobile operators concerned, they also upgrade their backhaul. They try to maximize their spare equipment. Some of them usage their mobile antenna, and also they do a lot of PNI and other agreement with the other networks, and also to enhance customer service. And also some of them will defer payment for their customers because of the tying times. And the government also announced income tax relief for purchasing an handphone, laptop for the financial year 2020. I think these are the things that we observe from the IXP and from the country perspective. And we don't have any we don't have any, in fact, we don't have any hurdles in terms of operation as far as the ISP concerns. I think that's all.
Yep. Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah. So you waived the port fee for some period.
Not right. Me, my board of members waived me. Yes.
I see. Yeah, that's an important support for the local ISPs. Great.
Yes.
Yep. So the next, so Vijay, so do you have any something to say about COVID and for the future, our best practice kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, whatever we are actually been doing definitely helped us brace the situation and be able to handle the surges or demand that came on our way. If it were to happen in future, we will definitely need to make sure the infra is upgraded to 400 gig or even 800 gig on one port to make sure that we have ample bandwidth in the background to handle the traffic. But there was one comment in the chat here saying that the traffic trend in APIX, or that was on African side, I think. But the drop in traffic on IX platform could be part of PNI connections, because most of the big players would usually move their connections to PNI as they start to see their traffic utilization goes beyond 50-60% of port speed, so that they interact directly rather than going through a switch fabric. So I would see the same trend would be there if the same situation were to happen again. And that was also one of the main reasons why we could only see very little of that particular impact. For example, if any streaming service and the eyeball user is there and they are on IX platform, as soon as they see more traffic flowing between them, they will move to PNI. So I think bracing ourselves to have enough capacity should allow us to operate the platform well and good for future.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vijay. So yeah, of course, and the capacity is very important for us. Yeah, no congestion is the best way to operate internet. Yeah. So you say that you were, I think you were renewed the platform of 2019. That helped the Equinix Singapore tolerate the big traffic increase.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
that indeed helped a lot.
Yep. Okay, so counts from the CDN side, please.
Sure. I just want to share my screen. Hold on. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see that.
Sure. So I just want to highlight some of the findings or challenges that we observe during the traffic increase. Of course, I'm not going through all of them, but I think there's basically internet congestions everywhere, from carrier, backbone, or up to the last mile. But besides the all these, because I think that no one would expect that sudden traffic increase, so it's kind of so everyone is trying to get around that and then upgrading or whatever. But other than the traffic increase, we do see other challenges in terms of deployment. So, for example, the server hardware availability, the logistic, the shipment, the installation that it's hard to get people to moving to the data center, that data center restriction, and not all the providers are ready to provide like POS or to us. So there are also, even we want to upgrade, it's also not easy in terms of the deployment. But we do have some trying to find a way that we can get through that. For example, of course, the first mode that we do is keep upgrading capacity. At the same time, we're also building our backbone to avoid some of the inter-provider congestions. So in total, we build monitor a bit of backbone ourselves, other than adding the peering and transit to the eyeballs. We also keep upgrading our cache knob, and we do a lot of increase, because the pandemic, we don't know how much it's going to last, and the traffic, we don't know how much it's going to increase. So we do a leap forward for most of our cache knob upgrade. So we do upgrade like at least a year ahead in terms of the demand and forecast. We do also build a lot of like deeper deployment, like deploying like tier 2 cities, trying to reduce our partner backbone.
Yeah, excuse me, Cams, your audio is very, very bad. We can barely hear you.
Of course, we keep measuring our performance. Not sure whether I can change that. Hold on.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth interference. We can barely hear you. You'll need to try and fix it, please.
Is it Bluetooth interference? Is that better?
Nope, sorry.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
No, you're all cracking up.
Hello. Can you?
Okay.
I would suggest if we can maybe have another speaker while Cam sorts out what's wrong with the audio.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Philip, for your support. Okay, so yeah, okay. So now we'll just have an opinion from the panelist. The council is now trying to say the words at the last words. So from the learning's point of view, so I like to hear about the care. So what should we do for the future? So of course, then the capacity is very important, but we do not have enough money, so we cannot spend a lot of money. So how about how do you think about it? So Mohan, so how do you manage the capacity of the IX switches?
Okay, because MIX is a non-profit organization. So if the traffic is really require, or the backbone traffic require an upgrade, we have to upgrade, and I think we have no issue to upgrade the infra. But we need to have more traffic, and more requests for, like for instance, currently we have 100 gig port, we can support multiple 100 gig port, we have no issue, but some things like moving to a 100 gig to 400 gig, that will require a capacity investment. So, but I don't see any issue, because for us, if there's a request from 100 gig to 400 gig, we see a good problem, and I think the committee will invest the money and upgrade the infra so that the traffic and inter-exchange traffic in Malaysia is healthy and as good as the other IXP.
That's right, right. Yeah. So how about you, Vijay?
Sorry. Yeah. Well, I would actually say that I shouldn't be answering as in representation of Equinix, because we are at a good position to handle the capacity and be able to serve the demand from customers. But if it was actually from a small players and they would like to bring up their connectivity, right? So with the available capacity or the inventory they have to serve the customers, they may have to weigh in the critical business needs. And if they were to receive, say, 10 orders and they only have 5 ports, so they should be weighing in the criticality of the business and see who should be given a priority to connect to the platform so that other 5 customers can be handled at a later stage. That is one of the way, but the other way of doing is definitely from APIX forum and from Equinix side of the track. We should be able to, it is one of the suggestion, they should be able to have some kind of a helping hand to bring up or help with the IX platform players, so that if in urgent need and they need any monetary support or equipment support, we should be able to help them out.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I also think that the COVID and increase of the traffic or impact on that network plan, capacity plan of each players or each in the ISPs or them. So usually we are hearing them or their forecast, and we also calculate the traffic trend and considering that COVID impact, and we will increase some kind of a curve. So according to that new network plan, we will invest the switches and increase the capacity. So that is a normal way. And I think the COVID have impact on our network or planning. Yeah. Okay. So also comes heads back. So I think the comes you are going to say more things from the CDN side.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, much better.
So I think it's a Bluetooth problem. Sorry. So I changed to use a wire headset. Sorry. So if you don't mind, so I just continue sharing where I drop off.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Sure. So I just want to repeat again, so in case you can't hear me. So I just want to say, other than the internet traffic congestion, the issue that we are facing, we do also see a lot of issues that related to the deployment. For example, like the hardware availability from manufacturers, the logistics shipment because of the lockdown, the installation because of the field tech that they can't easily to go anywhere, the data center access, the data center access, etc. So those are things that even we want to upgrade is also making it some challenge during the COVID-19. And so the mitigation that we have, of course, we keep adding our capacities, like in IXP and transit cache node. So we also keep upgrading our backbone, because that would potentially bypass some of the inter-provider congestion problem. We keep upgrading our cache node like at least 1 year ahead, because we want to make sure that we don't need to keep like upgrading in every few months. So we do a big jump in terms of a lot of upgrade that we build like at least 1 year ahead in terms of the cache node. We also deploy deeper in every network, so like in the tier 2 cities. So it's also helping to reduce the provider backbone and also for better performance. Just share a graph here that we share that we keep measuring our performance about during the COVID-19. So even there's a lot of congestion, and then we still keep delivering a good performance during the COVID-19 that we have. And so some lessons that we also see is during COVID-19, we do see a lot of regulator that request that because of the traffic increase, they want us to see whether we can reduce our bit rate or so that we can reduce the traffic to help others, to help other internet traffic that is not impacting their countries. And of course, for that, we have to work with a lot of content owners. So we have to work with them about in different, reducing the video to a standard definition. We adjust that bit rate, even the throughput per user, etc. So we do things that both on the client side and on the server side to see how we could reduce the OTT traffic, so it's not impacting the production traffic. We work with some of the gaming companies or software companies to adjust the event traffic. If they could make sure that the download traffic is not happening in the peak time, it could help smooth out the traffic a little bit, so it's not traffic all come as a sudden burst. So you can see the links that about how do we do all these things at the back end on adjusting the traffic. Then I just have 2 slides. So yeah, so in summary, that what we learn is we want to build ahead because and then nowadays event traffic is the new norm, that we do see a lot of new traffic, especially the event type. When they come, it probably just lasts a few hours or a few days. So we need to build a lot of headroom. So that means we need to have a better collaboration with the ISP, IX providers, and also the transit vendors. We also have to proactively work with our customers to see how they could smooth out their traffic, adjust their content in terms of bit rate or throughput. So a lot of customers are actually very willing to do this because if they work with us, then they could probably avoid the peak time, they avoid the congestion time as well. And this is my last slide, that that in the future that we observe that from a CDN perspective, what we observe in the traffic trend that we have, because we do see a lot of, I think a lot of traffic are moving to cloud. A lot of our customer, the infrastructure are moving to cloud. So we are building a lot of more interconnection with the cloud providers because they are hosting the customer origins. And we do see a trend that a lot of content providers, so a lot of content owners, they are using multi-CDN. So we also do a lot of interconnection with different CDNs. We do see some customer demand that they want to have their connection, have a secure and a high-speed connection to our platform to deliver the traffic. So we do build direct connection with the customer to improve the first mile. And I mentioned before that we are also building our own backbone so that we could easier and have a better performance to deliver our internal traffic, like the node-to-node traffic that we have. And we keep expanding the backbone network from big cities to intercity to smaller regions, etc. So these are the evolution that we observe not only in 2020 but also in the way coming forward. So that's all my sharing. Sorry.
Yep. Thank you very much, Kams. So yeah, so your slides are very informative. So these days, the traffic is coming from mainly the CDN. So CDN players, intention or motivation is much impact on our traffic handling. So from that perspective, you were saying that collaboration between the CDN and ISP are very important. So Kams, is it possible to share some information about what kind of traffic will distribute it from you, from the CDN? That kind of information can be shared with an ISP's eyeballs?
In general, we don't share down to like a particular customer. Of course, they can easily find out by themselves if they could do like packet capture, or they try to look up the host name that they could know where it's from ACMA. But we officially we can't disclose our customer information. What we can disclose is more like the category of the traffic. So for example, we can say this is like social media, we can say this is a gaming download, etc. So we can't disclose exactly the content type, but we do, I mean, the exact customer, but we do can post the category of the traffic, because sometimes a lot of partner, they will ask, hey, why there is a certain search or why there's a certain job, etc. So things like that. Yeah.
Yep, thank you very much. So, yeah, I believe that, of course, and that is the business information and it is confidential, but the big traffic will come the next day or 1 month later. So such kind of forecast that is very important for capacity planning or how to deal with for the eyeballs. So in the future, we need some kind of collaboration, and between our content provider or CDN and eyeballs. That would be a very great if we could make the information sharing. Okay. So, of course, already I will run out of almost the time. So, and also we have some comments from our audiences. So I would like to show that. Oh yeah, so sorry. Oh, just a moment. Oh yeah, so a comment from Bijal. That not in Asia, but in the Africa region, there are some IXP, so the drop in the traffic. And this was because the lack of the content at the IXPs. Okay, so such kind of phenomena has been couldn't see in the APAC regions, basically, but then in other regions, there is some kind of a trend. Yeah, so that is very interesting. Okay. And also, okay. Oh, yeah, no questions. Okay. So thank you very much. So almost run out of the time. And I think this topic is a lot of things to discuss and talk about. So 60 minutes are too short for us, but I think it is a very good discussion about this. So at the finally, so please say one comment from each panelist. So, Mohan, please.
I think the traffic, I think the new normal is going to stay for a long time. It changed our daily life. A lot of things are happening over the internet, and the traffic going to stay, even though it's not much compared to this pandemic. And I think we should be ready for the ever growing demand from the networks.
Yeah, thank you, Mohan. So Vijay, please.
Same comment as Mohan. I mean, for the past 12 months and now on, we have been actually doing great in making sure the network is operated well and good. So to be proud of to be able to support the entire new normal or actually handle it better. So pat on the back for everyone.
Yep. Thank you, Vijay. So Kams, please. Oh, Kams, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. So I just want to echo what I mentioned before, that I think the key here is to deliver the traffic, no matter it's pandemic or normal days. I think a better collaboration among the community that we have should be better. So we have the Ping Forum, that's why, right? And then so hopefully we could have on-site event, and we could have the physical meetings later.
Yeah, thank you, Kams. So I hope so also. Yeah. So in the future, so
one last comment.
Oh yeah, it's Vijay, please.
Shawi was actually asking a question here, or rather comment. Do we expect traffic to increase much significantly in future, or the extra capacity has already been factored in? So definitely we would see increase in traffic. Even after the phase 2, phase 3 of open up has been happening in the region, from December until now, we have been seeing quite a lot of traffic increase. So I think it is going to be this way for at least for another few more, couple more years, I would say. And as far as the capacity, we are definitely factored in all the increase in traffic that we would expect to see in near term.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so any comments? Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for good information from the panelists. So please, grab your hands for the panelists. Yeah, and thank you very much for this panel discussions and APNA people. And it's very supportive. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And see you in the future in a person. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yep. Thanks again, guys, the participants and panelists, Toyama-san, Vijay, Mohan, and Camps. Yeah, great work. Extending also the thanks to the PF working group and organizers. But before we end this, there's a pop-up poll. Please also rate this session for those attendees. And some reminders. We have a DJs in Tech social event after this. After it's 4:30, so it's about to start. And asking also people to join the lightning talks if you have any interesting topics or funny or something that you want to share. Deadline is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Manila time. You can check out the link in the website. I also place it in the chat for your reference. Thanks again, and see you tomorrow for the next batch of sessions. Good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.